You're listening to the 3 Pillars of Success, a podcast that inspires people of all walks of life to gain perspective on what it means to succeed. My name is Geraldine Convento, and I'm best known for entrepreneurship, my skills in web presence, and SEO. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the show. Hey everyone, how you doing? This is the 3 Pillars of Success podcast, and I'm super excited to have my business partner, Lauren Messmer, on the show today. Welcome, Lauren.
Hi, thank you.
You're welcome. Well, why don't you tell the audience who you are, where you're from, and what you do?
Well, as you said, my name is Lauren Messmer. I'm from the San Francisco Bay Area in Northern California, and I am an entrepreneurship coach.
Awesome. And what do you do for fun, Lauren?
Well, what I like to do for fun is hang out with my friends, do any kind of physical, intellectual, and collaborative activities, and also being in nature.
Nice. And so, as we all know, this is the 3 Pillars of Success podcast. And the reason why you brought you on is because we'd love to know, what does success mean to you?
Cool. Well, I appreciate this question because it made me really have to sit and think about what is success to me. And what I came to is that for me, success means that I achieved something that I've set out to do. So it means that I'm happy and I feel balanced. I think a lot of people associate success with material things or extreme wealth, which of course it can be if that's what you set out to do. But it could also be as simple as feeling successful because I finished a book that I wanted to read. And then I thought about success on kind of the grander scale, and I really feel strongly that success is correlated with happiness. So I consider myself successful today because I have the balance in my life that is required to really feel happy.
That's awesome. So what are the 3 pillars that you would attribute to success?
My 3 pillars of success are dreaming, goal setting, and execution. So when you dream, we all need to dream. If you can dream it, you can achieve it. The first pillar of dreaming means that you have to allow yourself to see what you want. And this is something that we're all not very accustomed to because we don't really get asked what we want a lot of times. And when people get asked that, they often have a hard time coming to an answer because when we are born, we are told by our parents what to do, and then we go to school, we get told by our teachers what we want to do, and then we go get a job and we do what our bosses tell us to do. But it's actually pretty rare that we get to consider what we really want. So dreaming is an incredibly important first step towards success. Secondly, goal setting. So once you have that dream in mind, you need to break that down into pieces of how milestones of how you're going to achieve that dream. So I don't know if you've ever heard the statistic that if people write down their goals, they're 80% or highly more likely to achieve it than if they don't. And then if you write it down and you also see it and you look at it multiple times, then you're even 95% more likely to achieve your goal. So it's really important that you set these goals, you put them around where you can see them on a daily basis. That way it keeps your focus on what and where you're going. And then that also helps to keep your passion fresh in your mind, which will propel you and keep you going even in the hardest moments. And lastly, the third pillar of success in my mind is doing all of those necessary things to move towards your goal. So action. Get in. Start doing it. It doesn't have to necessarily be hard or it doesn't have to be physical labor. It could just be you being very diligent and so focused that you have that, all you can think about is achieving that goal. So that when you're paying attention, you're really paying attention to what opportunities are all around you that will get you towards that. So like, let's say that you want to be a top selling real estate agent in your office. You can't just sit at your desk and focus on the phone knowing that the next big break will be the next call you get. No. You have to go out and you have to network and show up at open houses and list your property. But as you're doing those things, the opportunities will overcome. So you might, let's say you meet a new person at a networking event. That person tells you they have a cousin that just that morning was asking if they knew a great real estate. And voila, there you are, the right place at the right time. So that's paying attention to the opportunities that come up because you're so focused and you recognize it.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing your 3 pillars. I have a question for you because I know that I've heard people come across this challenge. So there are people who have their dream, they have their goals, and they are in action. But what should they do when their personal circumstances, say outside of their career or the dream that they're trying to achieve, is in the way? Do you have any recommendations on ways that they can deal with that?
I mean, life is going to throw you curveballs all the time. And sometimes what is happening may make it seem that it's moving you further away from what you're trying to do. Maybe you're having relationship issues, or your children are sick, or your mom lost her job, or whatever it might be that takes your mind off of that. But those things are going to happen no matter what. And what's important is that you continuously keep in mind your goals and keep focusing, and just accept that that's how life is. You may have to take a month or 2 or 6 away from getting what seems like you're moving in that direction. But again, keep your eyes and ears open for opportunities. Keep understanding and repeating to yourself that this too shall pass. That's one of the biggest sayings that I say to myself, this too shall pass, because it always does. And also just, make sure that you're talking to people and you're surrounding yourself with people that can keep you strong even when you're not strong.
Awesome. Really good advice. So have you had any roadblocks in your path to achieving success?
I mean, so many, of course. Like, I think, now I'm 41, so definitely there's been so many roadblocks that come up. I mean, really, when I think about what the biggest roadblock for myself has been, building my belief in myself. And that building my belief, if you don't believe in yourself, that's one of the biggest roadblocks. But the good news about that is that you have the power to overcome that, because it's you believing in you. So to overcome that, on one hand, it's just like part of getting older. I think we tend to get we get broader perspective about people. We talk to more people. We see that everyone goes through those things, and that also everybody is pretty much questioning themselves too. Even the most confident person, you'd be surprised to find out that they are still kind of wondering if they have that imposter syndrome. So that's really important, is keeping that. And then the other thing that I do to overcome, or I've done to overcome that, is really just working a lot on mindset. So I do affirmations often. I have affirmations posted all over my house on Post-it notes. And then I have other practices like visualization and meditation that help to keep my mind clear, and then also keep me confident, positive, and calm. And then lastly, I can't say enough for being very intentional with the people that I keep around myself. So I've heard this saying, I can't remember who said it, but that we are the sum total of the 5 people that you hang out with the most. And so when I first heard that, I started to take a look around and see what 5 people I was hanging out with the most and what they were doing, and how that reflected upon me, or maybe what I could see of myself in them. And while many of those people at that time were wonderful people, I also had to really get real on which of them would push me and help me to achieve my goals and stay focused. And so few people had to kind of go out of the main spotlight. And over the years, that 5 people that I hang out with the most have continued to evolve. And now I love that when I look around me, I'm in so much awe of the amazing people that I have in my network. And even beyond that 5 people, amazing people that I have go, 20 people, 30, 40 people deep. And I'm surrounded by entrepreneurs, and that helps me keep sane, because they can help to empathize with what I'm going through. I'm around people. Another thing that I really love is a lot of people I'm around are seeking out knowledge and or are fighting for truth and for equality for all. And they're all just so inspiring and great. And I think this has really been the key to getting for me getting to and staying in a constant flow that I am in now, even in the times where I stumble and need a little more support. Actually, no, especially when I stumble and need that extra support.
Yeah, for sure. I like a lot of what you said, and I definitely resonate with a lot of it. Yeah, network is important. And the thing is, there's a couple of different ways to look at the people who are in your network or your friends or your family. Is that some people are really positive. Some people have naturally bright energy, or you laugh with them a lot, or you really relate to each other. But outside of thinking about the quality of the person, you also have to look at the quality of the conversations too. Because even though you might have really great people around you, are you getting together with your friends to gossip? Or are you getting together with your friends to make fun of others? Or, you might not be doing that, but just look at the conversations in more depth and see, is there personal growth and encouragement present? Because if you're just engaging with people for entertainment, you might think about not hanging out with them so much, hanging out with them just a little bit, incorporating in your inner circle the people who are helping your goals to move forward.
Absolutely agree. I think my favorite conversations are ones in which people come to the table being curious and really positive too, and curious so that they can make this place a better place,
Yeah, that too. And engaging, there's some conversations that you might have with people are very one-sided, and maybe they're talking about themselves a whole bunch. Maybe they're really progressive and successful, but they're not really giving back to you or asking about your life. So make sure that the exchange is very reciprocal. So is there any advice that you would like to give to anyone who's looking to achieve success?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I think just define what success is for you, stay focused, and trust your instincts. And like we've been saying, surround yourself with great people.
Yep. And if you don't have those great people in your life, there's plenty of places to find them. Well, thanks, Lauren, for sharing all your knowledge, experience, and all the gems during this episode today. And I'm sure that everyone, in terms of the listeners and audience, really appreciates it.
Well, I really appreciate you. So thanks.
You're welcome. Cool. All right. Well, that was our episode for today's 3 Pillars of Success. Remember that we're broadcasting every single Wednesday. So we will talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.